Peace, my kings and queens. We are back for another cooking episode. On today's menu, I will be making some goulash and some biscuits, and I'm gonna offer a side salad. So, I know you guys have seen me make goulash in the past in some of my content and cooking uploads, but today we are actually cooking it live. So if you needed a more slowed down version, you're tuning in to the right place. Today's menu selection was a special request from Kayer. I used to always try to make it whenever he visited in the past, like for weekends or holidays or vacations. But now he is with us full time. And so, as I told you guys before, we sit down and we have weekly house meetings. Myself and the children, if hubby's here, he'll join in, where they give us input on what they would like to see on the menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Basically, like a grab and go style breakfast throughout the week. And majority of their requests are for dinners. And for the weekends, they get to choose like breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. So I try to make a monthly a meal plan ahead, so that when I sit down and make my grocery list, I know exactly what I need in the house. It's a bit tedious, and I don't expect everyone to try to keep up with that or even try to do their monthly meal plans the same, but it works for me. I've shared in the past, like, I'll sit down and look at how many weeks there is to the upcoming month. Most of the time there's 4 weeks, so we'll use that as an example. So on Mondays I'll make it chicken, Tuesdays will probably be beef, on Wednesdays fish, so on and so forth. So I'll know that I need 4 weeks worth of chicken, 4 weeks worth of beef, 4 weeks worth of fish. Maybe one day is a meatless dinner, so we'll do like ziti or Alfredo with like vegetables and rolls. Just a meatless dinner. Fridays is normally takeout. Saturdays is normally leftovers or like an easy day, like sandwiches or something like that, like soup and sandwiches for dinner. And Sunday is when we do a more traditional soul food style meal for the most part. It is subject to change depending on what we have going on through the week or if we have something special planned for that month. So on today's menu, again, it's goulash, and I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Just so you guys know, I already have some water boiling, just some salt water, so that when it starts boiling, I can go ahead and get those noodles dropped. But I'm going to start here with the ground beef. All of the kids are home. I was finally able to obtain TJ's COVID test results just earlier today, and they are negative, so I've already reached out to his school, and they're able to return to school tomorrow. So that's good news. All 3 of the younger ones, Tyzir, TJ, and Tyjon, will all be going back to school tomorrow. So I'm trying to cook dinner early. It's not as early as it has been because I was tending to the kids. Everyone's feeling much better, but you know, in trying to prepare for school tomorrow, this is my reset, but it's during the week. They were way too ill on the weekend for me to do my normal reset, and I wasn't feeling so great. So here we go. We're gonna play catch up. So I'm just gonna be on long enough to get this meal done. Getting this ground beef out of the package and into the pan, guys, and then we can get this meal ready to go. I'm using ground beef today. You can use ground turkey. I've even heard people say they use ground chicken. I've never tried that. I have tried ground turkey. It's pretty good. The ground chicken is different. Never tried that. Don't think I'm looking forward to it, but you never know. I may one day become that daredevil and do it. But again, we're going to go ahead and get this started. Get my hands cleaned. I'm a constant hand washer, if you guys haven't already noticed. That's what I do. So here's the ground beef. We're going to go ahead and get that started. Get some seasoning on that. Gonna use some black pepper. Up here for some spices for a moment, guys. Gonna use a seasoned salt. I'm not going to be too heavy on the spices for the kiddos today, but I will use some soul seasoning in addition to that. You can hear that the ground beef is already, this is some soul seasoning. Okay. That's it, guys. I'm not gonna overdo it with the seasoning today. So, don't know if any of you guys have one of these little doodads for your ground beef, but I'm telling you, it makes life so much easier. I ordered mine on Amazon. I think it was about $6. Maybe not even, maybe like $4. Because sometimes my stuff be sitting in my cart, and they'll tell me that the price decreased or increased, and I believe it started out at $6. And you just press it and turn, and it'll break all that ground beef and stuff up for you. Really, really good. So the water is boiling here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the noodles dropped in there. I have them right here. We're going to be using some ragu sauce. You probably saw it in my recent upload from Sam's Club. Today, guys, I'm just wearing a simple, these are green earrings that go with this chain here. Just a green top and some black slacks. You can't see it, I'm so short. And my hair is just tied up in a black wrap. I got the whole head tied today. I washed my hair last night, so I didn't want any of the hair showing. So yeah, we just dropped the whole box of elbow noodles in because it is a goulash, and this is 1 pound box. If you hear noise in the back, it's Tyjon. He's in the next room here in the watching TV in the living room area. You know me, I gotta separate them when they get to acting up. So, in the meantime, I'm gonna get this cutting board out. This is my small one. Just used it yesterday, so it was in there. And I'm gonna start chopping up. Nice little knife set I picked up. A couple different colors. This is another one. The others are in the dishwasher. So yeah, I got a few colors. I got that blue, this red, a purple, like a fuchsia pink, and I think it's a yellow. Yeah, very sharp. I love these. Oh, let me grab some peppers. I normally buy the whole peppers and I cut them up myself, and I just stick them in the freezer until I need them. So that's what we're doing. Oh my gosh, I forgot to take out cheese. You guys know I tend to top my goulash with cheese. Oh, I forgot to pull out shredded cheese. I forgot to pull out shredded cheese. So here we are. It's frozen. I won't be able to put this on So we'll just get it put together, and I won't slide it in the oven until later when I'm able to top it with the cheese and slide it in. That's all. Easy fix, guys. Tajan, you're making too much noise. So again, we're gonna go ahead and get the onion chopped. Get that ready. Onions and peppers for this. Oh my god, so good. No use to have it if you're not going to do it right. You don't need that much because you got a lot of flavors going on from your ragu and everything. So just chopping up the onions now, guys. Hi, John. We're not going to have this talk again. So when this ground beef finished browning and I get that out, I'm going to go ahead and get the onions and peppers into the pan and just cook them up a little until they're translucent. So I did about half that onion. Half the onion. Yeah, that's enough. You do yours. If you need more, you add more, but I do mine according to what I know my family likes. As I tell you every day when I'm cooking, it's no right or wrong. Just, you know, you cook for your family and you know what your family likes. So I'm just turning this piece of it here. I am so happy that the kids are returning to school tomorrow to get back to some type of normalcy here. I don't mind, you know, them being out of school. However, I need them to get their education. It gets a bit chaotic when you're one person doing everything, like taking care of the kids and trying to stay abreast of all my emails from those teachers. Everybody's, you know, different teachers. We got 3 different schools that I'm dealing with, 2 different school districts, so it can be a bit much. I have work, hubby have work, then it's just, you know, the whole transition that's going down and the services that we get here and keeping up with my mom and her appointments and everyday life. I think I told you guys I am typically a go-to like cousin or auntie or friend for many that likes to call whenever they're up against the situation, for my input or just for me to just let them vent, just be an ear. And so that normally happens at night, typically on my nights off. However, you never know when something's going to happen, and so they just call, and they know if they call and they don't get me, leave me a message or shoot me a text. And if it's a work night, I'll call them when I can while I'm driving or on my breaks. If I'm not working, they know. Even if I'm down my normal time that I take a nap before work, they know I'll be up in the middle of the night because I can't sleep. I'm normally up doing like dusting, cleaning a room, some laundry, editing. I'm doing something. Watching movies, catching up on my shows. Trust me, I'm doing something. They know it. So, yeah. I'm just cutting up these peppers here, guys. go with those onions. I always prep everything. I don't necessarily do it on camera, and I'm guessing some days I can, to show you guys how I prep and make life so much easier for my family. Being as though I basically handle most of the household duties during the day, so then that's during the awake hours. So I like to make life so much easier on myself. And this is nothing new. This is something that I've always done, even when I was an empty nester, before the grandkids, before hubby. I always meal prep because I always work two full-time jobs, Monday through Friday, and then I always work a part-time job on weekends. So anybody that knows me, all my ex-coworkers that follow my channel will tell you I was always somewhere on somebody's clock. Guys, I remember I used to prep on Thursdays because that was my day off. I used to have off Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Wednesday was the day that I slept in majority of the day because it was from after working all week. When I had shifted my schedule a bit. And that was the schedule I had for a long while. I would be off on Wednesday and Thursday and work Friday through Tuesday night, which is Wednesday morning when I got off. And that was my schedule for some years. I want to say like 10 years. And so on Thursdays was my prep day. I would cook and prep my meals and pack my work bags and iron up uniforms and pack my toiletries and stuff. Tajna, don't let me talk to you again. Now pick it up. You trying it, Tajna. Pick it up. You about to go down for a nap, sir. I used to pack up and get ready to go out for the week because I would go all those days back to back from job to job, with very little time in between. I handle all my affairs. Back then it wasn't all emails and stuff, so I did all my bills and stuff while I was at work, prepping them to mail, dropped them off at the post office in between my routes to and from one job to the next. And this was ever since I was working with human services. So I've been working in the group homes and at the psych hospital and doing home care provider, like a caregiver or a companion in people's home. Listen, I stayed on somebody's clock. I remember when I wanted to purchase a home when I was younger. It was just me and my son. And I went and sat down and they told me how much money I had to have at closing. And I'm telling you, I ran from job to job to job. I hung a schedule. I had left my place that me and my son had, my apartment, and put my stuff in storage and went back to my parents so that I could save up quicker. I don't know. I did that. I mean, it was a waste to have a home that I was barely at because I was at work all the time, like I said. And my son would stay there and go to school from there. And I was taking him to and from school. Hold on one second, guys. Didn't I ask you to stop the noise? I asked you to stop the noise, right? So give me this. Now lay down and take a nap. That's it. Now you get no TV because you're not listening. Okay. He's down for that because he determined he's not going to listen. So now I got the onions and peppers in, guys. Gonna lower the heat a bit. Yeah, so I would go, take my son to school. I was still taking him to school, picking him up. All my mother duties. But I had my schedule hung on my mother's refrigerator, so they knew what job I was at all times. Like they could look at the time like, okay, so she's here, and they would know what job to call me at or whatever. This was even before like cell phones and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah, I did that, and guys, by the time it was time for me to close on that house, I had so much money saved up. I had way more than enough, so I treated myself to window treatments and flooring. It was so nice to be able to do that as a single mother, a young single mother. So, um, I always tell people if I could do it, you can do it. Um, the house was a beautiful home. I'll see if I can find some pictures. Maybe share with you guys someday. 3 floors, 3 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, family room, laundry room, very nice kitchen, full like eating, and that was all on that full side, and over this side was cooking, and then you had like a big open floor plan, nice pantry, enormous amounts of closets, and it was just me and my son. And this was when my son was 13. Yeah, 13 years old. And that's when my son started getting into trouble too. Sad to say, I was so busy trying to be a mom and a provider and do everything on my own, and make sure I had everything we wanted and needed. And unfortunately, guys, sometimes that backfires because those children turn to the streets. And I noticed he started being a little slick with my parents, getting a little older. And I was trying to buckle down on him. I had my nephews and them talking to him, but that was unrealistic, which I wasn't thinking at the time. I thought, you're his older cousins, you need to help out. His father's away, and at that point he was in Tacoma, Washington, because he was with a young lady that was in the service. And so that's where they were stationed. And then they moved on to Alaska. You may have heard me told you stories about that in the past. But anyway, he started getting in trouble with the police in the community. I put my son in like a boot camp. Oh my God, I had to jump through hoops to get him in. We were able to get him in the nick of time. Got everything that they requested that he needed. And trust me, that was a long list of like 5 t-shirts, 5 underwear, 5 towels, 5 washcloths, everything was 5, like a week's worth of everything. Sweatpants, and this, and a jacket, and that, and this, and all his toiletries and everything. And we had to go down. I had to drive up to North Jersey to meet with these people. We had to get his physical, his dental, his eye exam. I mean, it was a long, as if you're going into service almost. It was very tedious. I did everything I was supposed to do as far as that was concerned. Got my son in. It was a hard day leaving him there, but I knew it was the best thing because his father was an absent father, and I was taking on a role of both mom and dad, and still trying to make sure we had, like I said, all our needs and wants taken care of. And he was in there a week and a half, doing really good, no issues. He called home one day, and my nephew was there, answered that phone. And my nephew told him something I told them not to share with him. That it was a voluntary program, and he could just let them know he didn't want to be there, and they had to send him home. I know y'all know I was pissed, right? Here come 5:30 the next morning. Now, I didn't even know this conversation took place. 5:30 the next morning, here come the staff from that place calling and telling me that he no longer wants to be there. He had been expressing it since the previous day, and they couldn't hold him there against his will. They said he wasn't a bad kid or anything. They just didn't want him to prevent others from gaining what they could from the program. And so I had to go pick him up. Had to call out of work, go pick him up. Now I feel like I'm back to square one, thanks to my nephew. And, oh God, so we come back home, sit down, try to come up with another plan. Here is a school in the city of Camden, not too far from where we live, and I grew up in Camden, mind you guys. You may have heard of Camden if you're not from Jersey. It's like one of the most dangerous, top 5, and I think it was number 1 at one point. I don't know where they stand statistic-wise now, but they were the number 1 most dangerous city in New Jersey, in the U.S. probably. But I found this school up there. They had plenty of those resources because of it being such poverty driven and so on and so forth. But I'm mixing the peppers and everything in the ground beef. Okay, I think you guys can see the different color peppers. Yeah, I'm mixing that in the ground beef now, guys. Getting that all mixed together. The noodles are coming along fine. So I was able to get him in that program, and that was like a more stricter school. It's normally for kids that's not doing the right thing in their normal high school setting. And so they have stricter rules, stricter guidelines. And I thought, yeah, this is exactly what he needs. He went there. All expenses was on me though. Like as far as there was no transportation provided and stuff like that. However, they did say if I provided the transportation, even if he went like on public transportation, and I took care of that financially, there was a reimbursement to come to me if I would have filed paperwork, but I didn't even get involved with that. I don't even like fooling with programs when they go into all that reimbursement stuff. That jazz. So I drained those noodles. And now I'm just going to get the pot, the roaster pan, and I store it right in the oven, guys. Get that ready. And we're just going to go ahead and put this thing all together. So I put my son in that school, and he did do really well for that semester. But when the school let out for the summer session, it was like, oh my God, pulling teeth trying to get that boy to go back to that program. He was like, it's boring. It's whack. You know what those kids say. When it's everything going on that they don't want no parts of it, they can find everything wrong with the program. And that simply was his little friends that he was running the streets with wasn't a part of that program. It was very unfortunate. But I just saw this boy going downhill, and I started praying. I started going to church, turned my life over to God, because I was like, I'm doing all this work and I can put some time aside for church. So I started going to Sunday school. I got baptized, took the right hand of fellowship, and then I felt like, oh my God, these prayers, I need more. So I started making time for Bible study on Wednesday evenings, because I needed something in the middle of the week to keep me going, something to keep me looking forward, and to get to Sunday again. And I was doing everything that I thought I could in my power, and I still think that I did everything in my power. Unfortunately, this boy put me through it. He put me through it. The trouble just got, the trouble he was getting in was just getting progressively worse. Only child, and I always said to him, I only have one requirement. I need a high school diploma. Didn't he drop out? Didn't he drop out? I'm still doing my working and making sure I'm able to maintain and make sure that he have the everything he need and want and like the finer things, and I just kept getting setback after setback. He started getting in more trouble as a juvenile. I started reaching out to his father. That was a waste. He was too busy telling me what his wife at the time had to say, giving me all her input, when clearly I didn't lay down with her and have no baby. And that was a hell to the no, 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 excuse my French. And I told him and her, like, we're not doing that. There was times I would call and talk to him, and I don't know, she was like insecure about our relationship or whatever. Well, that's what he said, and that's what I gathered, because whenever I would hang up the phone with him, she would call me back. And as a woman, say to me, can you explain to me what you just said to Rel, because obviously he can't carry a straight message. Baby girl, that is your husband. We are not friends. We're cordial, but we're not friends. You don't like me. I know this. But that's neither here nor there. What you need to do, even if we were the best of friends, is not call my phone and ask me what I discussed with my child's father, your husband. If you can't get what you need from him, don't call me. Don't do that. We were young, and the relationship had gotten better. I didn't like dislike this woman or anything. I didn't know her not to dislike her. But you hear the sound. This is me mixing it all up, guys. I really wanted, to form some type of relationship with her. Not friendship, but relationship. Because of the simple fact my son was spending time with them, and it's very important. I already shared with you guys what he did to me in the past, so again, that was not an issue, like her being with him or anything like that. Trust and believe. Tyjon, get back here where I told you to get. See how he snuck away? He done went downstairs and started the same foolishness he was doing up here. This boy. But yeah, like, oh my God, I can tell. That's a story. That's a story time story for you too, guys. Just the back and forth with me and her. But it wasn't the worst situation, because I hear of a lot of women that tell me situations about their exes, like current. Say we didn't have those type of issues, but put this stuff away. I just didn't like her calling back and checking on a conversation that he and I was having. That was a don't do that, girl. Where they do that at? I gotta put this stuff out for recycle. One moment. Hi, John. I called you. And so, I had to get her all the way together. But, like I said, that's a story time for another upload. But, so my son, back to him, kept getting in trouble as a youth. And it led right into his adulthood, like I always warned him that it would. And then it went from that to making poor decisions. Which eventually, and I'm talking about in women, which eventually resulted in him having my 4 grandsons with 2 women that he didn't last with, I didn't have a great relationship with, and hence the reason why I'm raising the children. Um, Again, I did upload just recently a Cook With Me, where I was going over, like touching on a little bit of the family dynamics and how it turned out that I got custody of the kids and then eventually adopted. Um, I will share more of that with you guys, but that will be like in members only live streams and content. Um, if you join my channel, you get to get a little more intimate with the family. If you tap that join button and just see what I have to offer, as far as being a membership on the Amechi tribe, that's some of the things you'll get. You'll be privy to some of the information about kinship legal guardian, Division of Youth and Family Services, which is DCPMP, Division of Child Protection and Permanency here in New Jersey. I will go over some things leading up to the adoption process, up to and including psych evals, the different appointments and documentation, all the different hoops that hubby and myself had to jump through, the classes, just how we had like the revolving door letting all of these state officials in the home, the court proceedings, the documents I have as far as the mother, and like how I'm going to handle it moving forward with the children, and explaining that I am grandma because they do not have an idea. They refer to me as mommy or Dalut, which is my family nickname. They refer to my hubby as Tony, and I hear them say daddy. I hear them say dad, but they do know that my son is their daddy. So as they get older, I think they'll have more questions, and I can just share with you guys like my plans on how I'm going to answer these questions regarding both their mom and their father, and any questions that they have, how I plan on answering, and then any ongoing services that we still have here in home. This has not been an easy ride. It's not an easy road to travel. Anyone who may be going through kinship legal guardian, some family issues, child protection involved, and you need some insight or someone to listen to, someone to vent to, or even listen to and get some advice, you can always reach out to me via Instagram at prettybrownyes 2, EYEZ 2, and let us rub minds. I am very resourceful in the fact that I work in case management, human services, and I deal with both adults and children. And then I have the whole resource / foster / emergency home here. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out today's video. Again, on the menu is goulash. I'm sorry you guys didn't see me put the cheese on and melt that, but that's the only thing I have to do besides make the biscuits. Everybody know how to do that. So I am going to go ahead and flip this camera around and let you see how this goulash look for now until it gets the cheese on, because I just took that out and I feel so bad. This cheese has to thaw a bit, but once it's thawed, give it about an hour, because it's doing good now. About an hour or so, I can sprinkle that cheese on top, slide that in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 350 degrees, and put some biscuits on, make that salad, and give salad to whomever wants it, and dinner will be served. But again, thank you guys for always hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure. You get me through making dinner for my family so painlessly. I'm gonna get these dishes done. Nobody needs to see me do dishes. You all know how to do dishes and bust those suds. Either you do them by hand or you run them in your dishwasher. I bust mine by hand in some bleach water. But yeah, I need to go ahead and move on along because I gotta get the guys' PM hygiene completed. We like to do it early around these parts, and get them all ready for returning to school tomorrow. So, gonna flip this camera around, let you see what we got going on. Love and respect. See you the next time. Like, I couldn't leave you guys hanging like that, so I went on and got that cheese melted, and now I'm showing you the final results. This is that goulash. Oh my god, it looks so good. Again, we're going to pair this with a salad and some biscuits when it's time to have dinner. And just right there is some boiled eggs that I made to go in that salad. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's upload. You are amazing. Love and respect from your Metchies.